Hi, this is Big Dogs Porting here, and today we have a nice little treat for you guys. As you guys see, you're reading AFR. So we have the Airflow Research Enforcer Small Block Ford 185 cylinder heads. Brand new, out the box. We're getting ready to do an initial flow test. Real world, okay? To see what these things flow out the box. We have them set up on our flow bench, and this is a real world. These are one of the cylinder heads that we offer. We offer them stage 2 ported at a real great price. And a lot of people were interested in what these flow out the box and then what they flow once we port them. Right now, this video is just going to show you what these bad boys do out the box. Now, the price on these are pretty good. You know, you can get these at a pretty good price. They're available in most places. Right now, as of date, the Brodix STR cylinder heads that we also offer, they are on back order till about January, February, okay, from Jegs and Summit. These cylinder heads, they are a real light cylinder head, okay? And what that tells me is the quality of the aluminum may not be A1. It may not be as dense. Well, I know it's not as dense because we port these and they cut like butter. They cut very easily. The aluminum is not dense. So, you know, AFR, they compromise with that aspect. I'm thinking these are cast offshore. And then AFR, you know, pretty much work their magic. But don't quote me on that. As you see, they have their, what's the name on there? This is set up with the spark plug, of course, with our radius, okay, with our fixture. So we're gonna go ahead and do an initial flow test to show you guys what these flow. I don't like the seals on them. I don't like these seals. These seals tend to get hard from the heat cycles very fast, and they tend to crack around there over time. You know, I like the Viton seals that we use, but these are pretty decent. You know, they're decent for what they are. I mean, you can't complain because the price of the cylinder head is a great price. They use an 8mm intake and exhaust valve with the undercut stem, and that pretty much helps out tremendously on flow. The casting is a decent casting. It's a real clean casting. You know, it doesn't need a whole lot of work to flow slightly better, but you know, we do more than slightly better with our porting. So we get these to flow quite a bit. These things, when we're done, pretty much are from the low lift to the high lift. They're pretty much rocking with the 11Rs, and you're not paying 11R prices. I think the 11Rs are what, like 2,600, 2,700, something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, ridiculous price, you know, for those cylinder heads, when you can buy these cylinder heads, send them to us and get them ported, or better yet, just buy them directly from us already ported. That way you're only, you know, spending a one-time shipping, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and pause it and set the flow bench up, and we're gonna see what these bad boys do out the box. So we're gonna go ahead, zero it out. We're gonna hit it at 100 thousandths, okay? Kick the flow bench on, see what we got. So at 100 thousandths, you're looking at about 77 CFM. 200,000. You're looking at about, crank that other motor up. Looking at about 146 CFM. 300,000. Looking at about 191 CFM. 400,000. About 237. 500,000. About 262. 600,000. 268. And we're going to do 700,000. About 270. 270 is 700,000. It's not bad at all. That's pretty good. That's real good. That's pretty good, the money. Well, we already knew that, guys. Like I said, we sell these cylinder heads, stage 2 ported, and we pretty much know that they flow pretty decent out the box. But who wants decent? If you're gonna buy these cylinder heads, you might as well go ahead and get them from us stage 2 ported. And like I said before, once we're done with them stage 2 ported, we'll do another video showing you guys what they do after they're stage 2 ported from us. They're just a great bang for the buck. You know, you're getting a cylinder head that pretty much flows with the 11R and the low to mid range. It blows the 11Rs out the box. You know, that's where most of you guys camshafts are going to be at anyway. So what we'll do with this video, we'll post the full flow on the intake and the exhaust. We'll post those numbers in the description. That way you guys can just go to the description if you want to see the full numbers. You know, pretty much all of our cylinder head flow testing, what we do is in the description, we put the full intake and exhaust flow numbers there. That way you guys, if you want to write them down, if you want to compare them, this is a real world. Like I said, this is not a Superflow 600 or a Superflow 1020. To me, those are pretty much like a Mustang dyno. Depending on how the operator sets them up, you can get different numbers. You know, this flow bench is more like a dyno jet. It is what it is. You know, you really can't, there's no levers here. There's nothing here that you can alter to change the flow. You have a fixed radius. You have the cylinder head. You have the fixture. Everything else is sealed up. There's no way you can, you know, flip a lever and change the flow like you can with the Superflow units. You know, like I said before in previous videos, you have other porters that demonstrated that live with on video, where they had a Superflow and they had a part and they flowed it and they didn't take the part off. They just changed a couple of levers, a couple of settings, and got a totally different flow number. Well, how is that possible? Which one is correct? You know, and that's how a lot of places fudge their numbers. You know, they use a Superflow and they'll set it up to give maximum flow number. So then what the customer does, they get those heads or they see those heads and they say, man, you know, my AFR 165s flow 913 CFM at 200 thousandths of an inch. And they put those things on their cars and they don't go any faster than, you know, a GT40 P-head guy. And they're saying, well, what's wrong? What's the problem? Oh, I need a custom cam. That's why. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to verify correctly what your parts flow. And this is one of the reasons why our customers are running pretty fast, because when our flow bench says, you know, your cylinder head flows XYZ at 200,000s, that's real world. I mean, we use the same flow bench and the same porting techniques on our personal vehicles. So you guys are getting what we do with our own. We don't short. If anything, we do more porting on you guys' parts than we do on our own. You know, because we have a reputation. We want you guys to put our parts on and blow the competition out the water. And if you guys have seen any results from our customers, you know that they're running a lot faster than what people expect them to be running with the parts that they have. You know, so once again, this is the AFR small block Ford Enforcer head out the box. It flowed pretty well, but you know, Big Dog's performance, Big Dog's porting, is going to make them flow a lot better. And we're going to show you guys. We're transparent. You know, we don't hide anything. We don't just talk the talk. We actually show you. You know, also just want to let you guys know, one of the reasons that we're backed up and we have, you know, kind of a long waiting list on certain parts is because it's Lamont's fault. I'm going to tell you guys, it's Lamont's fault. It's his fault, you know. We're backed up. He's sandblasting, he's tearing down, he's putting stuff, he's porting parts, and the customers, you know, they loving the look, they're loving the performance, and they're telling their buddies, and the next thing you know, we get hit with 10 orders in 3 days and 12 orders the next 3 days, and we're still trying to do all of these special projects, these stage 3s. Stage 3, you know, intake manifold port jobs, they just take a ton of time. As a matter of fact, we're going to show you. Let me pause it. We're going to show you guys. Give you an extra bonus on this video. Let me pause it. Here's an example of a stage 3 small block Ford 351 truck manifold. Now this manifold just got started with the cutting it open. It's very, very time consuming and very difficult. And it's the exact reason why nobody else is doing this but us. We have to completely cut this damn manifold open just to get in here. And when we're done with this, it's going to be 1 inch shorter. Everything is going to be radiused and blended and ported. And we have special tools and special equipment that we use to make all the necessary modifications, and then we're going to weld it back together, and then we're going to flow test. When this is done, the upper and the lower bolted together, it's going to flow around 270 to 275 CFM. And with the 1 inch short runners, that's going to gain about 250 to 300 RPM on the peak and be able to carry the horsepower until the supporting parts give up. On a manifold that started off flowing, bolted together, average around 170 to 175 CFM. That is great. That's phenomenal. Okay, here's a stage 3 Explorer just getting cut open. We haven't done any work besides cutting it open. We're going to completely shorten these runners. We're going to port the ports, get them flowing well, and then we're going to measure everything. We don't just port blindly, you guys. We measure everything. We have tools and jigs that we have set up, and we measure everything to get consistency. We have everything consistent, you know, and then we weld it all back together and make them look pretty. This is a tubular. This is getting stage 3 also. And we cut these open, We modify all of this. We change all of that in there. Okay. We don't shorten these up. We used to in the past, but we don't shorten them up anymore because there's no need. When we're done with that, the bolted together flow is going to be around 290 to 300 CFM, average per runner. That's great. Okay. What that allows with these runners is you don't lose the low end. Your low end is actually enhanced because the runner length remains the same on the tubulars, but the CFM flow is greatly enhanced. So what happens is your wavelength tuning becomes stronger with the peaks. And when you're out of the manifold's wavelength tuning, you have enough CFM to still support a lot of horsepower. So it's a win-win. And this is one of the reasons why, our porting yields such great results. A lot of people, they port visually. They look at it and they say, well, it looks like it's ported well. It looks like it's going to flow well. But you don't know unless you have a way of accurately testing. Okay? Your testing has to be accurate and repeatable. So this is what we do. This is why this shit takes so long. Excuse my French. But a lot of people don't understand what goes into this because all they see is, well, I send them my part and then I get it back and it looks pretty. But you don't know what went into that. A lot of time and work goes into these parts because we want them to be right. A lot of people, they get upset because they say, well, it shouldn't take this long. Well, it shouldn't take this long? Really? So what are you comparing that to? Do you have another porter that's actually doing exactly what we're doing with these parts and getting the results to compare to? No, you don't. So how do you know how long it should take? Especially with a shop that's as busy as we are. We're extremely busy. When I say extremely busy, I don't mean we're busy like an average porter. No, we are extremely busy. We get a lot of orders and there's a lot of customers that may be ahead of you. So it's not the fact that we're just going to forget about you and say, forget your project. No, we just have a lot of customers and we take the time to do it right. And best believe you're going to get your parts back. We don't want your parts. We got a shop, we got plenty of parts coming in and going out. We want you to get your parts, but we want it done right. We want it done right. And that's something that in this industry, the customers are really at a disadvantage because you guys don't really know if something is done right or not because you don't have a way of testing. So what you're doing, you're trusting these porters to actually do a good job and do what they say. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of porters don't like me saying this because I'm giving away their secrets or I may be giving away the industry secrets, but I have a good heart and I believe, when you do right to others, good things will happen to you. A lot of porters take advantage on the fact that most customers have limited knowledge in the subject. They'll make cylinder heads ports look pretty. They'll make intake manifold ports look pretty when they port them. They do just the bare bones minimum. But one thing they won't do, one thing a lot of them won't do is some porters out there that put up videos of them actually flowing their parts before and after. It's very few. It's very few. The majority of them won't do that. They'll be on the forums and the groups and they'll say this, have pictures, but you never see live video like we just showed you. You never see that. And if these porters have been doing this for 20 and 30 years, you should be able to find a ton of data, videos, and results on their parts. I'm not impressed if somebody takes some 11R heads, port them, and put them on a small block Ford with a big ass cam, 12-to-1 compression, exotic valve train, and then they run mid-11s. That's not impressive to me, because you're starting off with, damn near $3,000 heads, and then you're porting them, and you have all that other stuff. What's impressive to me is if you take some GT40 heads and port them, you take an off-the-shelf cam, you take the regular valve train with some, with some aftermarket springs, and you take a stock manifold that's ported and you throw it in that same car and run mid-11s. That's more impressive to me. And that's what we're offering. We do the big end stuff. We do, the high end stuff. And we also do the factory stuff. A lot of people like the factory stuff because the price is right. The price is right, and like I said, we're not in it to rip people off. We're in it to give you more than what you pay for. And if any of our customers are watching this video, you know exactly what we mean. When you get your parts back, all of you guys say the same thing. Wow, these guys did a lot more than what I expected. And we like that. So not gonna talk anymore. It's all this babble, but just want to keep you guys in the loop and show some transparency. But this is what we do. This is what we continue to do. This is going to allow us to keep growing with you guys' support. And, we welcome your comments and your feedback. And don't forget to like the videos. Liking the videos shows us that you guys are interested in the content. We can post up a lot more videos and a lot more content if we see that you guys are interested in it, So our interaction is based off of you guys' interaction. So once again, this is Tony Lamont over here. Like I said, it's all Lamont fault. So what's up?
Yo, it's not my fault.
Oh yeah, he's trying to get out of it. It's his fault, you guys. So once again, it's Tony Lamont signing off, and see you guys at the track. Let's build these cars faster, you guys. Let's go ahead and show the world what these Mustangs can do. Because I'm telling you, we also port Mopar, LS, and small block Chevy. And I'm gonna tell you, you got you Mustang and Ford guys, those guys, they're flying. The LS and the Mopar guys,